Hello, everyone. Driving while multitasking. This is what I was doing when I was doing rideshare. Have to do it. Of course, everyone know what multitasking is, doing two things at once. And the reason I was doing it was because I had clients get in the car and they wanted to converse um, about anything. It could be current events. At the time, it could have been family situations. It could have been the sports game in town. An artist coming in town to perform, a country artist, a hip hop artist, a jazz artist. And as in a lot of parts of the country, in DFW, there were a lot of plays, a lot of festivals. So it always had people coming into town. And lastly, there were individuals that came in for business meetings. So that was always extremely amazing. Amazing because I was able to, of course, help people. It was amazing because they were able to help me. And as I would be driving, we would converse about, like one time we were conversing about a flight that a client was on flying in from Seattle to DFW for business. And they were telling me about the turbulence they had. They were telling me about how they had the flight got put on hold in the middle of the tarmac. It was like a 30, 45 minute wait until they got in the air. And as I was listening to them, I was like, this is understandable because as we know lately in the news, planes have been falling out of the sky for whatever purposes, planes bumping into planes. Unfortunately, people lost their lives. Some people did not lose their lives because the plane stayed on course. The thing is this though, let's say I was not a multitasker as it came to driving. Let's say I was only able to drive and couldn't hold a conversation while I was driving. One, that's bad for myself, that's bad for the client, and that's also bad for business because these applications want individuals that have a personality in the sense that you can wear many hats like a stylist, be able to listen to someone, be able to make them laugh, or sometimes just be silent. Have the skill set to where you can drive to where they're so comfortable that they'll just fall asleep. And that's why it's a wonderful thing to be able, when I was doing rideshare, to be a driver that was able to multitask. It started from the time an individual got into my back seat. I would say, "Hey, how's your day going? Would you like the AC on?" Even sometimes I offered water. It wasn't Fiji water, which is the best water to me. It was mainly Deer Park water. But I would offer them water. They would say no. Sometimes they would take it. And sometimes, clients were on the phone handling the business. Sometimes they fell asleep. Anyone that has done ride shared in the past that is currently doing it from a contracting standpoint, a business standpoint, even if you're an individual that just takes it because your car is out of commission right now, or you're in the purpose of obtaining a vehicle. We all know about it. Everyone has experienced that, and that allows the client to feel at ease, comfortable. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, I'm a stranger picking up someone, and I was nervous probably like the first time, but after my first ride, I was like, all right, it's smooth sailings. What's meant to happen, what's meant to happen will happen, and I can't worry about what I can control, what I can't control. However, for the client, I'm sure that they had the same thoughts as me. I mean, the only thing that the client really had to go off was my rating, which I had an awesome rating. Um, my rating and prayer, excuse me, or belief. So I'm sure when they hopped into my vehicle, they was like, oh, hope this dude get me to where I need to be. How's he going to drive? Yeah, I'm sure they were checking my ratings and my comments and see what other clients were saying about my driving and all of that nature. So I believe that being able to multitask allows the customer to be at ease. At ease, they'll start telling you about stuff you don't even want to know. There's been countless times where I was driving clients and they started telling me about their mate, and that was always interesting. I will say I've had clients that would complain about their job, but then again, I had individuals that were grateful for their jobs, and these jobs were not even paying. Some of the positions weren't paying a lot of money, but the thing was, it wasn't about the money. It was just about the opportunity to be in position to help him or herself and do what needed to be done for the situation. So that was always found that rewarding. And I think that if I wasn't able to be a multitasker while I was driving, it wouldn't have been a good experience, a great experience. Because again, we're all interdependent. And with that being said, communication goes a long way. Again, there's some people that don't want anything to be said to them because they just want to be left alone. But there's a lot of individuals that they want to talk. They enjoy talking. Like I like talking. And I know depending on the day of the week, some people prefer talking more than others. For example, when I pick someone up at the dawn of the morning before the sun rose, people weren't really talking. After good morning, they were silent. They went to sleep, um, or they were listening to their music on their headphones. But like in the afternoon, people were exhausted getting off of work, but they would still be open to talking because they would do a lot of their expression about their day and how it got on their nerves. And I let them get them out because I wasn't there with them, and if that what they experienced, then that's what they experienced. But once they got done, I always would try to say something positive but realistic. Being optimistic, like, hey, tomorrow's going to be better. You know, and that would lead to different conversations about just being grateful because everyone does not wake up the next day. Everyone doesn't make it. As we all know, we're all on borrowed time, and we all will eventually have a hyphen between our numbers. We just don't know when that day or time will arrive. So it's always try to be grateful. And when I was doing rideshare, I tried to reiterate it to my clients. But again, there were a lot of positive conversations too that I had being a multitask driver. I was driving one time, paying attention on the road, took a back road, which cut the time in half. And this is around the dead heat of rush hour, around like 4:30, 4:45 in the DFW area. And the client was happy, excited. It was cheering, and I knew where that was coming from. They were cheering because they didn't want to be in traffic. And they thought, as some people would think, that hey, man, I'm gonna have to be in traffic. I'm just getting off work. But as me being the driver that I was at the time, I knew like, hey, you have to have more than one way to get the clients out of this situation. Kind of almost reminded me of one of the great heroes, Batman, how he always had a solution to doing what he needed to do. And it's like, okay, I pick up a client. If I know it's going to be rush hour, I always want to know two back roads, and usually that worked 80% of the time. Though it would be some traffic, it would never be the same as getting on the highway. And the thing is, the only time I was really caught in the pickle was after I tried the back route and it was construction or something of that nature. But during that time span, the customer understood. They would be like, well, hey, you tried. You took me this route and then you took me another route. Unfortunately, we have to get on the uh, on the freeway. But see, the beautiful thing about multitasking and driving while I was doing rideshare is that usually, especially during rush hour, the client was always trying to get home. So we always communicated. So I would say, hey, I'm taking this route to get us to your destination quicker. Um, and then, because sometimes the client may know a route that I don't know. And since I don't know it all, I have no problem um, doing what I need to do, going in the direction that I need to go, but also being mindful, like, hey, this person may know something you don't know. And I usually took that stance when I was in an area that I did not know. Because when I was doing rideshare was taking me all around the world. It was wild. It was good. It was hiccups, but that's life. So I was never tripping. So yeah, I was again, for individuals out there that multitask, those that do rideshare, those that do not do rideshare, and those individuals that just drive on a daily basis. If you're just driving by yourself, you all have to multitask too. Even if you listen to your podcast or your music or talking on the phone, that's why most individuals keep their phone on they have it propped on a little stand so they can be hands free, keep their eyes on the road, and do what they need to do. Plus, it's been a law now for a while that you have to be hands free while you're driving. So comment down below and just let me know, what your all stance is on multitasking while you're driving. Again, this could be for an individual that does ride share, don't do ride share, or do ride share in the capacity outside of a business owner as an individual that just rides. And you all can just give me your thoughts. I'll be open to hearing it. Um, like, share, and subscribe. And I just wanted to bring you all this video today to let you all know what it is. And I hope you all have a better tomorrow. Take care. Later.